While my mother was filling the car with fuel, she suddenly locked all the doors. My little brother and I looked at each other, then back at her through the glass. She was gripping her keys so hard her knuckles had gone white, and even though I was only 5, I knew something was wrong. It was supposed to be our first real road trip. Before I could ask anything, a man I'd never seen walked up to her. He looked past her, right at us through the window, and smiled. "Traveling on your own, ma'am? I hate to see a mother out here alone with little ones. Why don't I follow you a while, just to make sure you get somewhere safe?" My mother smiled back, polite, and told him she was fine. I could tell he didn't like that answer. He asked again, closer this time. "You sure? I'll be right behind you anyway." She just got in and locked the door the second she was inside. She kept smiling, but she was driving faster than usual, and we burned through the tank quickly. At the next station, I begged to get out and help her pump. I was standing beside her when, out of nowhere, she grabbed my arm. "Get in the car, now." She pushed me in and locked the doors. I looked out and saw the same man, parked at the far pump, watching us. There was no one else around. My mother was rushing so much the fuel started spilling onto the ground. "Whoa there, need a hand with that, miss." It was him. She said she was fine, but he came over and took hold of the pump. For a second, I wondered if she knew him. Then I saw where his eyes went, to my little brother, asleep in his seat in the back. I was small, but I was old enough to know when something was wrong. "Just let me follow you a bit," he said. "You'll feel a lot safer." Then my brother woke up, saw our mom outside, and pressed his little hand to the window. The man smiled at him. My mother stood frozen because he wasn't leaving. And then my brother, only 3, reached for the button by the door, the one he'd watched work 100 times. "Don't," I said. He pressed it. Every lock clicked open. The man's eyes went wide and his hand moved. My mother shouted, "No!" and lunged. He was stronger. He shoved her back and she stumbled. He reached for my brother's seatbelt, but before he could work the buckle, my mother was on him, and she drove her keys hard into his shoulder. He fell back with a yell, and something heavy dropped out of his jacket and clattered on the concrete. My mother didn't wait to see what it was. She slammed the doors, threw the car into drive, and we tore out of that station without even paying. She was panting, doing 90 down the highway. My brother screaming. "Grab my phone," she said, but when I handed it up, the screen stayed black, dead. She dropped it and hit the wheel. "No, no, no." Then headlights appeared behind us. She thought fast. "Honey, I need you to hold the wheel, just for a second. Keep us straight. You're a big kid. Be brave." I was 5 and terrified, but I did it while she scribbled something on a scrap of paper. At the next station, she ran inside with a note and a $100 bill, crying. She told me to stay quiet and don't ask. Our tank was nearly empty again. She was whispering, "Please, please, almost there the whole way." And just as a motel came into view up ahead, the engine died. We coasted to the edge of the lot, and she grabbed my brother and rushed us both inside, where a manager was already waiting. He hurried us into a back room. We were all crying. The door opened again. My mother covered my brother's ears. A moment later, there was shouting, then everything went quiet. That note she'd handed the cashier had begged him to call ahead to the motel, to tell them a family was being followed and to phone the police. The man had walked in right behind us, calm, and asked the front desk for a room key, claiming his wife and kids were already there. They handed him one, but when he pushed open that door, it wasn't us waiting inside. It was the officers the manager had called, and my mother never had to be brave alone again.